Little disturbed, does it? Like looking around what is wrong. Yeah, today we are going to deal with a very interesting topic, noise pollution. How many of you are interested to hear the facts around noise pollution? Sorry about the noise through which we started this session. A warm welcome, my dear beloved friends. It's been a very, very long time since I had gone into a session like this. I hope you enjoyed that little drama which we enacted at the beginning. Noise pollution in India, I wouldn't say it's like a curse, but I would say it is a common phenomenon. If there are 10 people, all 10 of them go through noise pollution in this country, whichever place you live, right? I live in Bangalore, and if you are that one person who complains about this noise pollution, you look like an idiot. The reason is because they will always tell you that you don't have tolerance, you are very, very sensitive, you're taking it personal, you have this health problem, you have that problem, and all these things they will kind of decorate it around you. But I'll tell you, none of these facts are true. In fact, the remaining nine also have a problem, but they are compromisers. This one person, this one good friend, is very, very honest and bold enough to tell the society and convey a very, very important message that noise pollution is no good. No good for a healthy lifestyle, no good for a healthy being, and no good for concentration, and no good for us to live in peaceful and calm mindset. That's why you will see a lot of people, the holiday trips and the tour and with the family, they pick places like Himalayas, Arunachal Pradesh, and Jammu Kashmir, and all hill stations, right, where you won't see much of noise, right? First of all, the air is very clean and all that. It's free of all kind of air pollution and also noise pollution. You will hear the birds chirping, you will hear the nature's voice, right? The wind, the wind breeze. How many of you are able to hear the wind, the noise of the wind and breeze? Even that is not possible. Why? Because there are various reasons associated to it. Let us go through one by one in detail. But before we go through the details, I want you to understand, if you are the person who's the reason for the noise pollution, kindly turn down the volume of your TV set, turn down the volume of your music system, think of your neighbors. Now, for example, some people are really not noise sensitive. Even there can be a terrible thundering happening, then also they will sleep peacefully, right? And yes, they're very blessed, they're very gifted, probably they are sensitive, they're not sensitive to sound. Talk about me. I was not born as a person who is sensitive to sound. For a long time, I was able to talk, sleep in the midst of dogs barking and this and that. But I don't know. In the middle of my life, in the journey called as life, life called as journey of life. I don't know. I developed this noise sensitivity, and Bangalore is known for dogs, right? And there are a lot of strays, and when one dog barks, the other dog picks up, and 10, 20 dogs barking together, I lose my sleep. What to do? I developed that not by birth, but in the middle. Can I blame myself? No. I think maybe there is a hormonal change in my body. Could be. A lot of you might have the same problem. Therefore, do not count yourself as an unhealthy person. Please, right? You do not condemn yourself. You do not punish yourself. There is nothing wrong, because this is common. This is common for you to, wake up. And even little babies, they sleep very well. Young children, they sleep very well. You do go and make a sharp noise, they wake up. Every one of us. Very few people are blessed. Maybe 1% out of 900% are blessed. No problem for them. They sleep, right? Uh, so anyway, don't feel bad about it. Now we are going to discuss little more facts. This is going to be a very short session. Little facts about the um, noise pollution, right? What is noise pollution? We are going to talk through the facts. Noise pollution impacts millions of people on a daily basis. This is the fact released by WHO, and also the central ministry, and also every government acknowledges, right? The sources of noises are from various places. We will look into it in a little at a little later point of time. It could be factories, it could be construction work. Right now there is a construction happening right opposite to my home. My goodness, I couldn't sleep for the last 4 or 5 days. Why? Because they are laying that reinforced concrete, and before that they used to do something called a centering, right? They use wooden planks and they used to build that things, and they start the work at 6 a.m. in the morning all the way until 6 p.m. My goodness, I end up in some sort of hypertensions, not able to work peacefully also. But Can we go and complain against them? No, all of us build our houses that way. We need to have that kind of tolerance also. How do they build houses without making noise? It's impossible. But there are various other sources where we could literally mitigate and control. Certain things we need to tolerate without a choice. One such thing is this construction. We can't help it, no problem. Because there are a lot of going to be families that will that would dwell in that construction, and it's going to benefit people, right? It's a noise which is creating some positivity, and you have to live in tolerance. There is no choice. Okay. The most common health problem, the noise pollution causes is something called as NIHL, noise induced hearing loss. That will be a problem, but it won't happen if the density of the volume is mild. It happens people who work in aeronautical industries, and the flights, take off, and flights, land and all that, right? They will be involved in that kind of airport related job where there is a heavy noise, or people working in military, right? When the bombing takes place and all that, they will need to use that earplugs or something. We'll deal with that a little later. Exposure to loud noise can also cause high BP, cardiac problems, cardiac diseases, sleep disturbances, and stress. If you don't sleep properly, your system gets into stress, whatever may be the reason for your sleep loss. One important reason is noise. Other things are emotional problems that we have dealt separately in other sessions. Now these health problems can affect all age groups, especially children, and also mid-aged people, elders also, all age groups, right? What are the 5 effects of noise pollution? We are going to have a look at it, and the um, fatal effects of noise pollution are the following, right? There are very serious injuries that it causes to the system. Hearing problems, I told you, right? Any unwanted noise that our ears have not been built to in such a way to filter out those unwanted noises. The ears are not designed that way. Yeah? So these are all man-made things, and man-made machineries, man-made instruments, man-made noises. For example, bombing and all that, right? Hydrogen bombs and all that. Our ears cannot filter that noise and protect our human system. It travels, and it kind of makes the eardrum spoil or hamper, right? Psychological issues, another thing we need to really be mindful of it. Physical psychological issues, how it can cause noise in the ears. There is a mid-ear function. It is related to hypertensions, and people end up in vertigo when the fluid level in the mid-ear reduces due to stress. Stress can be induced due to psychological issues and emotional problems, and you will feel that when you're lying down, the fan is running without even you switching on the fan. The whole ceiling will be revolving like a fan. So vertigo issues, right? I've gone through that also some point of time in my life when I was at heavy work pressure, and I ended up in that psychological problems, or major stress in my head. So you need to really handle all this. Behavioral changes due to change in circumstance, change at workplace, relationship, family problems, this and that also can bring sleeping disorders, due to which you can have this problem, right? And what are the other reasons, right? Animals, right? For example, you're a dog lover, but your neighbor is not a dog lover. Your dog is consistently barking, and the fellow cannot sleep, cannot be at peace. And if he complains, even the law is very supportive towards animals. So you need to have little common sense. You cannot be a troublemaker, and you cannot talk like a lawyer. Go file a case and all that. I've heard neighbors fighting with each other, but that's no good for the society. Have that respect for the human being. What are the 5? I told you the 5 effects of noise pollution, 5 effects of noise pollution, or 10 effects of noise pollution. What are the causes? What are the reasons for noise pollution? Couple of them I discussed already. Traffic noise is one thing. We started with traffic noise, right? Honking is quite common in Bangalore or in India, but in Europe they honk only if they have to express their anger, or if the other person is terribly violating. To prevent a dangerous situation, they honk. But here it's quite common. We have to honk, whether the vehicle is running on fuel or not, it runs with honk. That's the belief they have, and you have to honk because without which you may end up in accident, because other person would blame you why you did not honk. And that's a reason I crossed the road. He would not look left or right, but you got to keep alerting. Pam 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 pam. Traffic noise, consistently it creates a noise pollution. And air traffic noise, For example, the aircraft when it passes in a terrible noise, jet fighter jets go now and then, and there is a war zone. For example, between Israel and Lebanon, there was a fight recently, war zone bombings and all that. Construction sites, I already told you, right? Heavy noise will be there, but yeah, you need to have little bit of maturity to tolerate. Yeah, catering and nightlife, catering people, they'll be moving the vessels here and there, and you will see that that creates noise, and that doesn't allow you to do any. For example, you are attending a very important business meeting, and the neighbor is catering, or a little far away the hotel is there, all the time noise is there, vessel noise and all that. Animals, I already told you, right? So these are the important facts, why the root cause for noise pollution, the source of noise pollution. How do I report noise pollution? Even after talking to the neighbor and all that, there is a helpline number, 155 271. If you're in Karnataka, just Google, you will get one more number in Bangalore. You can call up that center, you can raise a complaint, they'll come. But I'll tell you what, take that as a last resort. Resolve it through dialogues. Talk to your neighbor, or talk to your family member, right, who is not listening to you. Keep talking to them, keep telling them, reduce the noise and all that. Learn to resolve through dialogues. Don't end up with any kind of legalized actions, because you are also not perfect. The same person can file a complaint some other day where you wouldn't have done that. No, unwantedly, unknowingly, you might have done certain things, and you may end up in conflict. So take that as a last resort, if there is no other course of action that is helping you. Lastly, is there a noise cancelling device? Yes, the good news is there is a device, but I don't know how far it's effective. There's something called as Marpac Dom. It's a small sound masking machine that is the perfect portable sleep aid. It has two speeds of white noise to choose between, and it's perfect for blocking out things like road noise, noisy neighbors, and this and that. So you can focus on that music or noise, and then you can sleep. Recently I tried something, right? There are a lot of musics which will be consistent music for 3 hours. It will play. You have to just put your earplugs, play that music, and go to sleep. I tried that. It didn't work for me full time. It worked for me sometime, and then it didn't work for me for the rest of the time, especially because of the construction that's happening in the neighboring side. So it depends on a person. See, if you're able to sleep with the music consistently, you should be able to sleep with the noise also consistently. Anyway, I don't know how far to help you understand this formula. I myself could not understand the formula because it didn't work for me. Only thing is, you need to practice some sort of techniques, like for example yoga, for example meditations, keeping your mind calm. And the midst of noise, you learn to always listen to your conscience. There are a lot of methods you can practice to overcome. Do not get into any sort of pills, any sort of treatment that recommend pills or medicines and all that, that will harm your system. Learn through, learn to control this noise related issues that gets into your head or ears through natural methods, and talk to your doctors. And there are a lot of techniques even in the YouTube you can find. And these are some of the techniques and simple thing what you can use. I've been using a earplug for quite some time. Whenever I hear the dogs, for example, 20 dogs barking at the same time, I don't think any human being can sleep. If you're able to sleep, you're great, but I'm not able to sleep. Therefore I have a earplug next to my bed, and I just take it and plug, and it cancels the noise by 70-75 percentage. And yes, still I can hear the noise of the dog barking, but better than 100 percentage, so I'm able to sleep. So students, especially studying students, while I was a student, they used to play loud noises in speakers in all the divine centers, so we can't do anything about it. So therefore what I used to do is, those days earplugs not there, so I used to make a little cotton ball and then plug into my ears, and then I put my fingers and I'll be studying. So what to do? Although I was not sensitive to sound, but still it disturbed me. It could disturb my concentration power. So if any students listening to me have this problem, first tell your parents, let them resolve it through dialogues. But yes, it's happening in the whole area, then you can't help it, right? As I said, certain festivals, they play music loud, and uh, I don't know what else to say. You can go and complain to the police, but nobody does. Why? Because it's a big community that is organizing, and police is giving permission. Then what can we do about it? Beyond 10 p.m., they are also not playing. But during the day, how do I study? If a student is asking this question, there is no definite answer for this. Anyway, try to resolve problems through normal mitigations and through normal techniques like earplugs, this and that. Learn to manage this kind of noisy problems in your life. And yes, if you're a working professional in noisy centers like aeronautics, factories, and this and that, of course, you have guidelines which is prescribed by your own employer. Follow those guidelines, and I think they have mechanism to help you protect your stress levels and your eardrums. So follow those guidelines. Do not walk like a Iron Man and all that. Please follow and don't try any kind of nasty techniques. You will lose your hearing skills. God bless you. Take care and stay tuned. Like this, we will be releasing a lot of videos which is only going to help you to handle challenges in life. Our intention, our objective is to build every human being as an overcomer to overcome challenges. Take care. Bye.